I said I would come back to the different factors. What we say is there are three different sets of factors. These are constitutional factors, conditional factors, and normative factors. You can interpret this now as social, allowing you a little bit of break and write this down. You can simply say it was my egoistic behavior and I needed some water. Again, you cannot think these different factors separately. It's about interaction. Go through them. We worked mainly from the European Foundation and as well now from the on the international global level with the Asian colleagues on conditional factors. These factors are important and we all know or have a vague meaning of them, vague understanding of them. The most important point here is they are only worthwhile in terms of their relationality. In a provocative way, I could say, don't think about socioeconomic security. It's not really important. It is, of course, important that you have enough means, that you have sufficient means. But as such, they would not define social quality. It has to go together, on the one hand, with social cohesion, social inclusion, and social empowerment. And it has to go hand in hand as well with the normative factor and the constitutional factors. The constitutional factors, meaning that I have something, meaning in material terms, socioeconomic security, means only then something if I can do something with it, if I can activate it, if I can constitute a social process with it. Meaning if I can translate it into personal human security. And this is only worthwhile to do it in terms of social quality if I do it under consideration of the needs of equity. Personal quality of life, well-being, may be considered without that. But in terms of equity, if I link this together, makes social quality. Because at the end of the day, I talked about mutuality and about contradictions. At the end of the day, it will come back to me at any stage. Possibly I don't know it, and it will come back to me in different ways. So try to keep this in mind. If ever you think about these different factors, they are only worthwhile if they are considered in themselves as their own value, in material terms, in moral terms, in intellectual terms, and in terms of their relationship. Moral and intellectual virtues. We come back to this. But only if we really consider that these are not values driven by our personal wishes, by our personal wish to be good, by people overdoing something as individuals. But they are only valuable if we have a framework of a society and its economy that allows us or even forces us to do good, to live up to these standards. Intellectual virtues are, of course, talking here about, in the university wrote it, of special provocative meaning. But today, we have the problem that intellectual values are in many cases undermined. I couldn't stop myself recently commenting on my website on something I saw at the University of Cork, University College of Cork website, talking about smart economy and values. Smart economy and where should it go? The idea was just go with a smart economy, be competitive, and that's smart education for smart economy. Thinking about a right to education was pushed out of the agenda. Right was only meant to be the right to a job. This is something going through where we have less and less the conditions within a system that allow us to live up to these values.